After a bit with the mysterious guy running to a canoe, we learn that despite Jack ending the last episode by saying he would catch everyone up, he's actually refused to say what the plan is until everyone's walked out to a field. And by everyone, I of course mean just the core cast of characters, because it's not like there's still 30 plus other people who might have a vested interest in this. They really did completely forget that everyone but these guys existed, didn't they? The plan is to let the others come into the tents that Juliet will mark after they put dynamite inside, which is why Danielle was picking some up in the brig. And you've gotta love how he can't just explain this and actually feels the need to blow up a tree to make his point. Yeah, not like that stuff is a limited resource or anything. That's when we hit another unusual flashback structure, as Charlie is actually making a list of moments from his life. The first is when he hears his crappy song on the radio, which convinced him to stay with the band, and we're supposed to see that as a good thing despite how it ended up. Well, that was exciting. Jack is a jerk to Sayid until finally Sayid proves he has a bigger dick and explains that he needs to shut down Danielle's signal to call Naomi's boat. Anyone want to lay odds that any of these other schmucks could have figured that out? Juliet reveals that the others are also sending out a signal jammer from the Looking Glass, the underwater station connected to the Flame. Desmond tells Charlie he's had a vision of Claire and Aaron getting onto a helicopter, but in order for it to happen, Charlie has to die. And that never actually does happen, meaning he's about to die for nothing. Sometimes this show is good to me. The second flashback has Charlie's father teaching him how to swim. That's kind of a random one, especially since we were shown before that his father was an asshole. Then Charlie asks Desmond how he's going to die.
You're inside a hatch.
A hatch is just a door. How did these idiots not know that by now? The vision is that he drowns after flipping a switch, which lines up quite nicely with the plan to shut down the Looking Glass, so Charlie offers to go.
I was junior swim champion in Northern England.
Remember back in White Rabbit when Charlie said he couldn't swim and a woman died? Nice to know that happened just because he was lazy. Shut up, Charlie. And Jack doesn't let him go because it's his decision somehow. Then that guy in the canoe shows up. It's Carl, who reveals that the others are coming a day earlier than planned. We get to see Ben arrive back in a flashback where he tells Ryan to head out immediately.
Wait, moving up the schedule, Juliet may not be ready. What if she hasn't had time to identify?
Then we'll take all their women. And we'll sort out the ones we need later.
And the men?
If any of them are stupid enough to get in your way, kill them. We're the good guys, Michael.
Alex goes to where Carl's been hiding out and tells him and gives him a gun. End flashback, and I love that they felt the need to actually show us this scene because they know we'd never trust Carl just saying it. Although that doesn't explain why we have to watch him getting on the canoe again, so I guess they were just having real problems with the script being too short. So now that they can't set the dynamite up, so they'll need to shoot it instead, and this also means Charlie has to go down to the Looking Glass. Jack tries to play it off like this was his plan all along, but you know it's killing him to have to take back an order like this. The third flashback is Liam giving Charlie his ring, which we learn is a family heirloom in some extremely awkward exposition that this show normally is able to get by without. And you'll notice that this is completely different from how Charlie said he got the ring all the way back in the pilot. Whoops. There's a scene of him saying goodbye to Claire, and then the fourth flashback is him saving Nadia from a mugger, a character connection that stands out even among the others we've seen as being particularly pointless. Nadia says he's a hero and he shouldn't let anyone tell him differently. I wonder how Joanna feels about that. Bernard shows off his pheasant hunting skill, so he's put on the shooting team. And this is actually the first time he and Rose have appeared in Season 3, so you might understand why I thought their absence might mean something. This means Jack gets to be a dick to Rose because to him a day where he doesn't get to do that is like a day without sunshine. And then Sayid, bless him, tells Jack that he's taking over the shooting because Jack would inevitably screw it up horribly, and Jack acts like his usual whiny bitch self about it, but finally goes along because, well, he's a whiny bitch who's not good for much more than that. Hurley asks to go with Charlie, so first Charlie takes one last chance to make fun of his weight, shut up Charlie, before saying a real goodbye. Oh, by the way, I still think you were lying about having all that money. Then it's on to the fifth and final flashback of Charlie meeting Claire the night after the crash. Then Charlie and Desmond follow the cable until it goes taut, and Charlie gives Desmond the list to give to Claire.
It's the 5 best moments of my sorry excuse for my life. My greatest hits. You know, memories. All I've got.
As much as Charlie annoyed the crap out of me, I want to reiterate that I don't hold this against Dominic Monaghan. Much like David Tennant in Doctor Who, he always did the best he could with the crappy material he was given, and as his character faces his swan song, he really pulls out all the stops and actually makes me feel a little sorry for him. I hope he gets another sizable role like this that's more deserving of him. Desmond says that maybe he could go instead of Charlie, and Charlie pretends to agree, but instead knocks him out. And man, am I grateful for that, considering how much more painful the last 3 seasons would be with him instead of Desmond. He makes it to the looking glass where 2 women promptly stick guns in his face. How I've dreamed of this moment. My score for Greatest Hits is 10 out of 10. It's entirely build up for the season finale, and it does a good job of that. It's very exciting to see our heroes firmly in control for once, and with a plan that you believe might actually work. And like I mentioned, it got even someone like me feeling sympathy for Charlie. The flashbacks are pretty much just filler, but when you're killing off a character who is as big a part of the show as Charlie, you do kind of owe it to them to do this kind of thing. Up next, we end Season 3, so place your bets if it'll be a bang or a whimper.